Hello everybody and welcome to Sports Japan, the show that brings you the best from the world of Japanese sports. Today we'll be exploring the system of grades known as Dan, used to assess skill in the martial art of Kendo. We take a closer look at the 8th Dan examination, the grade with the lowest pass rate, and follow kendoka striving for perfection. In Pulse, we cover an international BMX flatland championship held every year in Kobe and report on how Japan's flatland scene keeps growing in prominence. And in Frontrunners, we take a look at casting sport, where competitors use a fishing rod and line to cast their fly as far as they can. We uncover the incredible skills of the Japan champion.
Every year in May, the city of Kyoto plays host to the most prestigious event on the Kendo calendar. This gathering of top kendoka is known as the All-Japan Enbu Taikai, or martial arts demonstration. The event is steeped in history and tradition, dating back well over a century.
To see Kyoto Taikai, I hope to see the best Kendo in the world.
On the final day of the event, Japan's top masters of Kendo face off against each other. The matches are between holders of the 8th Dan, Kendo's highest rank. The unpredictability of battles between these expert swordsmen keeps the crowd on edge. The extraordinary skill of these two exponents results in a prolonged stalemate. Each has such a solid defense, their opponent cannot attack. The allocated time is running out. A sudden, swift blow breaks the silence, a fine example of an attack epitomizing 8th Dan Kendo expertise. Across Japan, about 1.7 million people practice Kendo, making it the nation's most popular martial art. Only about 700 people in Japan hold 8th Dan, however. Passing the 8th Dan examination is a lifelong dream and goal of many top practitioners of the art. Most Japanese martial arts award grades, known as Kyu and Dan, to recognize developing proficiency. Beginners start by working through the various Kyu grades. Then, once they've mastered the basic skills, they're rewarded with the title of First Dan. In karate and judo, passing the First Dan examination entitles the martial artist to wear a black belt. In Kendo, 8th Dan is the highest rank. 7th Dan kendoka Alex Bennett explains just how difficult it is to attain the prestigious top grade.
Like, for example, in the 8th Dan examination, it's every year it's pretty much exactly the same pass rate, from 0.5 or 0.6%.
That's it?
That's it, that's all. Many people will sit the exam 10, 20, 30, 40 times and still never pass.
The 8th Dan Kendo examination has the lowest pass rate of any exam in Japan. Last year, of the 3,747 people who took the exam, only 25 actually passed, a rate of less than 0.7%.
So you passed your 7th Dan test. Can't you just go and take the 8th Dan
No.
exam right away?
Because when you pass your 7th Dan, every Dan grade has a number of years that you have to wait before you are eligible to sit the next grade up. And your eligibility to sit the 8th Dan examination is 10 years.
Another factor that makes the 8th Dan grade so special is the number of years that practitioners have to wait before they even become eligible to try for it. Even someone passing all exams on the first attempt would still have to wait 31 years between receiving their first dan and reaching 8th dan. A further requirement is that the examinee be at least 46 years old. The 8th dan is an honor bestowed only to people who have mastered the art of Kendo.
8th dan kendoka are like gods. You work up through the ranks one at a time, but the gap between 7th dan and 8th dan is more than twice as big as all the previous steps put together. That's how it feels.
79-year-old Saburo Iwatate has for many years sat as a judge of the 8th dan examination. He's been practicing Kendo for 64 years and passed the 8th dan exam on his second attempt. Many 6th and 7th dan kendoka come to him for instruction. After completing a warm-up, attendees pair up for practice bouts. This form of practice, called motodachi, involves facing off against the teacher to help develop the correct distance and timing of strikes. Once the motodachi training begins, it continues without a break. Even at the age of 79, Iwatate sensei trains these younger practitioners for a full hour without stopping. Although Iwatate sensei is neither as strong nor as fast as the younger swordsmen, when faced with him, they're left unsure how to attack.
As soon as you cross swords with him, you can feel the pressure. It's almost as if he saps your energy.
He dominates you. Everyone fights from back here. It's impossible to avoid getting pushed backwards. You can't strike. Even if you do, you can't reach him.
All of the students refer to Iwatate sensei's impenetrable aura. He doesn't launch attacks in an aggressive manner. Yet the pressure he exerts through his presence forces opponents onto the back foot, giving him room to strike.
When you put pressure on an opponent, they get scared and negative emotions well up. The four obstacles of surprise, fear, doubt, and indecision. When those four appear in your opponent, that's the best time to strike.
8th dan examinations are held twice a year, once in Kyoto in the spring and again in Tokyo every autumn. With a pass rate of below 1%, the examination is a fearsome obstacle. No matter how hard they try, the vast majority will have their dreams dashed time and again. These kendoka have undergone harsh training to prepare for the big day, representing the culmination of their whole life in martial arts. The examination begins with a 2-minute bout. Who wins or loses the bout is not what's important. So how do the judges decide who passes? Iwatate sensei explains 4 key elements he looks out for. The first is the angle of the left foot.
If the left foot is facing this way and the right foot is facing that way, then it's not possible in Kendo to meet your opponent head-on. You can't strike straight forwards. So, if you look at someone's left foot, you can see whether or not they can strike straight, whether or not they can really face their opponent from the front. These kinds of details are obvious to me right away.
If the left foot points towards the outside, then when an attack is launched, power can't properly be transferred to the sword, resulting in a weaker strike. These attacks lack not only speed and power, but also precision. Iwatate sensei adds that the position of the right elbow is also crucial.
People who extend their right elbow and grip too strongly always end up rotating the sword. And if you strike like that, you can't come in straight, can you? The strike will land, but the sword will be rotating.
Examinees who can meet these two criteria will have a stance that naturally allows for powerful attacks. As for the third key point,
The judges won't be impressed if you strike at the wrong time, no matter what you do. There are specific opportunities to strike, such as catching the opponent as they come forward or forcing an attack as they drop back.
even though these three elements count as fundamental skills of Kendo, only a fraction of entrants reach the high standards required. 90% fail to make it through the primary exam. The secondary examination also takes the form of a match. Here, the most important factor is whether the examinee possesses the impenetrable presence of an 8th Dan master.
Those people have a particular aura about them. When their opponents are at this level, but they can respond at this level and neutralize whatever they do to dominate completely, that's what I'm really looking for to give someone a pass.
A successful examinee needs to project a certain indomitability and be able to use that presence to launch a successful attack.
Can you imagine if you go to an art gallery, right, and there's lots of beautiful pictures on the wall,
Right.
there'll be something there that goes, oh, wow, well, there's something about that.
Right, that
But
moves you.
Yeah, but you don't quite know what it is, right? Well, that's sort of what, to get 8th Dan, that's the kind of thing that you have to move the judges' hearts.
Of the initial 1,028 examinees on the first day, only 6 make it through to the final exam. The final exam tests kata, or prescribed techniques. These techniques encompass all of the elements of Kendo, including etiquette, stance, methods of striking, and the appropriate distance between opponents. Examinees form pairs and perform a demonstration of 10 prescribed kata. They are judged on how well they understand the movements and how accurately they execute them. The final pronouncement of success or failure is given on the spot. Of the 6 who reached the final round today, 5 have passed. Less than 0.5% of the initial entrants have reached their goal of attaining 8th Dan.
I'm really delighted. Now I don't need to take any more exams. There was so much pressure in the run-up to the test.
It's a big relief. I'll treasure this my whole life.
Today was my 13th attempt. It's an important moment.
The thing that strikes me is that even though they pass 8th